My name is Dvarri, and I'm documenting my road to fame. Today, we're going over the true secret to being famous. Branding is probably one of the most important things to starting a brand, starting a YouTube channel, starting a series, anything. It doesn't matter how good the quality of your content is. It doesn't matter how many videos you post. If your brand isn't consistent, people aren't gonna wanna stick around. What do you feel when you see this image? The artist, he passed away, is Keith Haring. You feel free, you feel expressive. That is a true brand. You can look at something or someone and immediately know what they're about because they've been so consistent. Who are you? And why do people care to watch you? What's gonna be appealing? For example, I'm a 23-year-old living in LA. That's who I am, and that's what people probably will tune in to watch, is that this 23-year-old is trying to be famous in Los Angeles like everyone else. Then ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you doing this to entertain? Are you doing this to educate? Or are you doing all of the above? And how are you going to do it? Are you gonna do it in a form of educational videos, like PowerPoint slides? Are you gonna do it with a stick figure teaching you things? For example, I'm doing my storytelling, my brand through a series. A long series in which you watch me grow from a little small YouTuber to a big YouTuber. That's how I chose to do it, but how are you going to do it? And most importantly, consistency. And not just consistency in posting. I know everyone says it, oh, you have to post to get somewhere, but it's not just that. It's consistency in fonts. It's consistency in style. But think about it, every single one of my videos has jazz. Every single one of my videos has orange. Every single one of my videos has the same intro. My name is Dvarri, and I'm documenting my road to fame. All of those consistent things are me slowly but surely building a brand that people can just immediately see and be like, oh yeah, that's Dvarri trying to be famous. The goal with branding is to be memorable. It's to be recognizable. People will forget about you, but they won't forget about a memorable brand. That orange reminds me of Dvarri, or that jazz music reminds me of that YouTuber I watched. What was his name? Road to Fame. I know you guys didn't expect this one. He has great branding. I mean, let's look at his Instagram right now. Do you see how his Instagram is like a whole slew of pink? Obviously, this is in promotion of a new album that he's working on. I think he already released it. I would argue that Lil Nas X has multiple brands, but his main brand is that he's like a shapeshifter. He can kind of do a little bit of everything. He can look really traditional, like just like a normal dude. He can look extra gay if he wanted to, wear the dresses and the wig. If you look even closer to each of his little eras, they all kind of have a brand of their own. Like you kind of remember his albums based off of the way he's presenting himself. You guys remember all the controversy Lil Nas X got for the Satan and the worshiping, devil worshiping? You remember his album, right? Like that controversy, that brand that he created for that album made it more memorable. He has great branding, he has great aesthetic. I like what he does with his art and his music. I think he does a good job. We cannot have a video about branding without mentioning Billie Eilish herself. Billie Eilish has stayed consistent and true to her nature from literally day one to now. She's been recognizable because she wears really masculine, baggy clothes. So oversized that her clothes are literally swallowing her, but you know what? That is her brand. People can see that style of clothing and immediately associate it with Billie Eilish. She actually had a logo, a little like hangman logo. It became so integral to her brand, she made merch from it. People could see a little tiny image and associate that with Billie Eilish, which is humongous. Her branding, her marketing, exceptional. Billie Eilish was known to do crazy things, like putting a spider in her mouth for her album cover. That's really bizarre, but it's memorable. It created a brand of a really edgy girl that just likes to make music. And now she's a mega pop star. I cannot go through this video without mentioning one of the biggest stars right now, Cenat. Is that as far as his like aesthetic on his pages and stuff, he doesn't really have a brand. Because how do you reflect, oh, I'm a streamer? There's not really a good way to brand that outside of content and great ideas. I think now he's solidified himself as one of the biggest streamers on Twitch with the Streamer University. You have just now solidified yourself as the teacher, as the head, as the professor of all things streaming. That was such an excellent idea to create a streamers university. Cenat has now propelled himself to a new height of fame, and now he has completely locked himself in as one of the biggest streamers of all time. Everyone has had such high hopes for Normani and her career. She's still figuring out her brand, which by the way, everyone goes through a figuring out period. You need to just start and you kind of find yourself as you're doing it and you kind of find what really speaks true to your nature. I don't think Normani has found her brand, or maybe she's not even interested. Who knows? Who cares? But Normani, I feel like, has continually let people down in the sense of she doesn't come hard enough. She's not coming with an identity that's memorable. It has no sticking value. There's nothing about Normani that I look at and remember, just besides the fact that she was on Fifth Harmony. She needs to find a way to detach herself even further from that Fifth Harmony name, because I look at Normani and I'm like, what do I know you for? But she's just not there yet, and therefore I feel like her career hasn't really taken off the way it should have. I want to talk about the D'Amelio family. I feel like their team behind them has been so hectic in their ideas that it's hard for them to nail down a brand. Like, I remember they started out with a shoe brand. Okay, a shoe brand, that's interesting. Does it make sense? No, but if that's the choice you made, you have to stick with it. And then they went to a Walmart brand. I don't even remember, like a popcorn brand, something weird like that. And then they started a reality TV show. It's clear that they got famous way, way, way too fast, and they were getting deals tossed at them left and right and not taking the ones that make the most sense for their brand. What if the D'Amelio family partnered with, I don't know, a dancing company? Charli D'Amelio blew up for her dancing. That would make way more sense for her brand than shoes. And like, how can I sell this part of myself that I'm passionate about? I'm passionate about dancing. I want a brand to represent me in that same way. But shoes? When do you see Charli D'Amelio ever show off or talk about her shoes? That's just forgettable. I feel like the D'Amelios went in so many different directions that now they don't have a brand that's recognizable. You just know the D'Amelios as Charli D'Amelio. It doesn't really matter what they do because they'll probably always stay in the public eye just because of how many followers her account has. We have to talk about my YouTube channel before I figured things out. Old videos, do you see how all the fonts are completely different in the thumbnail? The editing style, completely different. The colors I'm using in the fonts, completely different. Even the subject of the videos are all so wildly different. I want it to be random because I am random. I'm all over the place, I have ADHD. So I wanted to showcase that randomness on my channel, but it didn't create an environment where people wanted to stick around. You click one video of me getting dressed and you're like, okay, yeah, I really like this content, I really like this guy. And then the next video is me decorating my room. What? Where did this switch come from? Like, what are people sticking around for? But you know what? That's expected. When you go in and you start creating something, your ideas are gonna go through a lot of changes to find that perfect middle ground where you're happy, you feel like it represents you. I wasn't there yet. I'm there now, but I wasn't there yet. And that's okay. We all go through a little ugly phase. You have to. You can't have decision paralysis where you're like, oh, what should my brand be? I think you still need to just start and just admit that it's going to be bad when you look back a year ago. What is my brand now? And I put a lot of thought into this. You can literally call my mom. I sat on the phone with her for hours trying to figure out, what do I want to put out into the world that represents me but also watchable and people want to return to see like what I'm doing and what's going on? I decided that I was going to start a series called Road to Fame. It's supposed to be ambitious. It's supposed to be for dreamers who dream about these things like, oh, I'm going to be famous one day, and then they just never work for it and they never just shoot for it. And to couple with that ambition, I wanted to use the color orange. Orange is a very bold, hopeful, ambitious color. So I have orange littered all throughout my channel. It's in my little header, it's in my videos. Every single video you see that bright orange, that ambitious orange. I start out every single video with my name is dvarri and I'm documenting my road to fame. It gives you that line, that one-liner. It gives you something to search when you go to look for me in the future. Oh, that guy, yeah, he does, my name is dvarri and I'm talking about that road to fame, that's what it was. This video I'm talking about branding, but 3 videos ago is me talking about leave the bad toxic people behind. You see how I can kind of just be flexible and just be me? So this is like my perfect middle ground and I'm happy. I'm content with this brand that I'm building. I'm gonna continue building it. We're on episode 7. Episode 7! Now that I've taught you guys about branding, I want you to put this knowledge to use for your own creative work, and I'm gonna continue to do the same. I am going to be famous. Mark my words, mark my words. This Road to Fame series is going to be proof of that. You see what I did there? I'm building a brand that you remember, Road to Fame. And in 2 months, you're gonna be like, what happened to that Road to Fame guy? You're gonna come back and I have 100,000 more subscribers. Mark my words. And with that marks the end of episode 7 of dvarri's Road to Fame. and I will catch you guys in episode 8. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.